Hello everyone, welcome to Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. I'm Kishore and I'm here to solve a Kropki Pairs Palindrome Hybrid Sudoku. This Sudoku was created by Akash Doulani and it is the most recent Sudoku posted on his blog as I'm doing this video. His blog is World of Sudoku. I will add the link to his blog in the description of the video and also add a link to solving the Sudoku. This is a live solve and I hope it would be enjoyable. So let me go to the rules now. Classic rules apply. So let me switch over the window. Okay, so each row, each column and 3x3 box in the grid has digits 1 to 9 without repetitions. Kropki and palindrome rules apply. So if you see a white dot between two cells, then the digits in these two cells differ by 1. And if you see a black dot between two cells, then the digits in these two cells are in the ratio of 1:2. It could be any order. For example, this could be a 1 and this could be a 2, or this could be a 2 and this could be a 1. And the final part of the hybrid Sudoku is these lines, palindrome lines. So if you have, let's say, let me go to writing a number there. Okay, so there is slight change in the window size. I'll just change it back. Okay, fine. So if I have, let's say, a 2 here, then this end of the palindrome, the exact opposite end, must also have a 2. And let's say if you have a 7 here, then you must also have a 7 here. So basically the digits need to be the same when you read it from either direction. So these are the rules. An interesting hybrid, I would say. So without much further ado, I'll start solving this Sudoku now. Okay, the first thing that I've noticed in this Sudoku is this sequence of 3 black dots. So whenever you have black dots encompassing 3 cells together, like in this or this or this, then there is only 2 possibilities. It could be 1, 2 and 4, or it could be 2, 4 and 8. So in either case, you will notice that the middle digits can only be 2 or 4. Similarly, this will also be 2 or 4 and this will also be 2 and 4. And these cells cannot be 2, 6, 8, 9, cannot be 5 and 7 because 5, 7 can never be part of a black dot. So they are 1, 3 or 4. And if you have a 3 here, then this invariably has to be a 6. So this is a 1 or a 4. So we can write some digits in this cell based on what we have put here. If this is 1, then this becomes 2 and this becomes 4. If this is 4, then this becomes 2 and this becomes 1. So you'll notice that we have a 1, 4 pair here, right? Which means this cell cannot be a 4, so that is a 2. And that leaves the 2 in these 2 cells by Sudoku. And we instantly note that this has to be 1, 2, 4 because 8 is ruled out. That's a 2. And this forms a 1, 4 pair. And now I know these 3 cells, they must be 3, 5, 7. Okay, so I'm looking at row 9 and I'm seeing this white dot, which means these cells are consecutive. It cannot be 1, 2, 4, 7, 8. So we are left with 3, 5, 6 and 9. And you'll notice that 2 cells which form a consecutive pair is only 5 and 6. 9 is eliminated and 3 is also eliminated. So this is the only pair. And now I can't have 6 here because then I need 5 and 7 here to be consecutive to 6, but 7 is ruled out. Which means this would have to be a 5 and this would have to be a 6. So that becomes a 4 now. And now I can resolve this pair. So that's a 4, that's a 1. And this pair is resolved. So that's a 4, that's a 1. Okay, fine. So I have 2, 4, 8 and 5, 6 and 7. 1 can be placed here. So this becomes a 3 and a 9. Which means I can place the 3 in box 7. This becomes a 3. So this is a 5, 7. 1, 5, 7, 2, 3, 4 and 9. So I need a 6 and an 8 here. Cool. So now rows 7 and 9 can be filled. 1, 2, 4, 8, 3, 6, 9. So this becomes 5, 7 and this becomes a 3, 9. So remember I said that this line is a palindrome line. So which means if this is 9, this would have to be 9. But very quickly you can see that that cannot be a 9. So that's a 3, that's a 3. And 6, 8, okay, can be replicated. 5, 7 can be replicated. And this is the middle cell of the palindrome and it would be a mirror of itself. So nothing much can be said about that. Okay. So one thing I forgot to add when I stated the rules was that you could have, for example, 1 and 2 nearby like that without any dot in between, right? It's only Kropki pairs, not Kropki. So in Kropki, all possible dots are marked, meaning that if you have adjacent cells which differ by 1 or which are in the ratio of 1:2, then invariably there will be a white or a black dot. But in Kropki pairs, the vice versa rule is not applicable. Okay, so let's continue. I have a 4 here, so that becomes a 2, and this is not a 4, so this has to be a 1, no other option. This becomes 4, and this now becomes 3, 8 and 9. Okay, so I form a 3, 8, 9 triplet here, leaving 8 in these two cells, removing the 8 from this cell. Oops, 8 is removed from here. And I can fill in these three cells, and these three cells, right? So this would have to be a 3, 6 and 9. This would have to be 3, 8, 9, 1, 4, 6, so 2, 5, 7. And this would have to be 1, 4 and 8. So we can try eliminating some possibilities. This cell corresponds to this cell on the palindrome. You can notice that it cannot be 1 or 4. So this would have to be 8. This would have to be 8. So unlike this palindrome line, which had 7 cells, this has only 6 cells, meaning that each cell has its mirror on the other end of the palindrome. So this is 3, 6 or 9. This has to be a 6 or a 9. You can't have 3 here. So 3 is eliminated. 3 is eliminated. Okay, 8 can be eliminated here by using Sudoku. And that gives me a 3, 9 pair here, leaving an 8 here. I can remove the 8 from that cell. Okay, so the next I'm going to see is, so this would have to be 2, 5 and 7. And it can't be 2, so 2 is removed from here. And that removes the 2 from this cell. Okay, notice that this cell cannot take a 9 because that leaves an 8 here. So 9 is removed from here. So this is 3 or 6. Okay, I'm looking at column 3. There is a 5, 7 pair, and which means we need 2, 4, 9 in the remaining cells. So I think we can get something from these 3 dots. We have not looked at that yet. Look what can get here. It cannot be 1, 3, 5. It cannot be 2 and 4. It cannot be 9. So that leaves us exactly 3 digits, 6, 7 and 8. And 6 is eliminated because that leaves 5, 7 here. So it could be 7 or 8. Okay, let's see what happens if this is a 7. Then you need 6, 8 here. And because of this 8, this becomes 8 and this becomes 6. And if you have 8 here, then you need 7, 9 here. And because of this 9, this becomes a 9 and this becomes a 7. So 7 has to be in one of these 2 cells and 8 has to be in one of these 2 cells. That can be said. So now using that along this column, 1, 2, 9, 3 and 5 and 7. So these 2 cells must be 4, 6 and 8. And you have 6, 8 here. So 4, 6, 8 here. So that is a triplet. 4 gets eliminated from these 2 cells. that leaves the 4 here. So this can't be 1 because that leaves a 2 here. So 1 in this box has only one cell left, 1 goes here, and this is actually a 1-4 pair. So because of this one, I get a 4 here and a 1 here. Very well. So what do I do next? This has to be 5 or 7 using Sudoku. Okay, this can be used to our advantage, I think. 1 is not in row 2, row 3, and 1 is not in column 6, so 1 has to go here, and that means this would be 2 and this would be 3. That's good. So that gives a 9 here, which could have been placed much back. So this 3 gives me a 9 here, a 3 here, and that resolves this 9-3 pair. Okay. Now where does the 4 go in box 2? There is only one option left. 4 has to go here, and that gives a 4 in these 2 cells. Oh, color has got changed. 4 goes here, and 4 in box 4 can't be here. So I'll remove that 4, and that gives a 4 here, which means this has to be a 5, has to be a 7, and that corresponds to this cell. So this would be a 7. And row 3 can be filled now, just a single digit. So this is a 2. Okay, so 5 resolves this 5-7 pair. Let's finish that off. Okay, what does this cell contain? As far as column 2 is concerned, it must be 6 or 9. No other digit can go into that cell. And 7 here removes the 7 from this cell. A 5 here removes the 5 here, gives me a 7. So which means this would be a 7, that would be a 6, that has to be a 9, this is 8, this is 7. So a really pleasant solve, I would say, Akash. Excellent creation. So this becomes 8, this becomes 6, and that gives us 6 here, palindrome. That gives 8 here, puts a 5 here. And this row can be completed. You can't have 6 here, so that is a 6 and that is a 9. So the only digit left in row 2 is 5. We have 6, 7, 8 and 1, 2, 4. So this must be a 3, 5 and a 9. Superb. So a 6 here gives a 9 here using Sudoku, and 3 and 9 eliminate the 3, 9 from here. So that's a 5. This becomes a 3, 9 pair. This has to be 3 or 6. Okay, 5 here gives me a 2. This has to be a 5, which means this is 6, this is 3. And 3, 9 can be resolved. So that's 3, that's 9, that's 9, that's 2. And we need 1, 6 here, pushing the 4 here. Right, so 1 goes here and 6 goes here. So 1, 4, 6, 3, 5, 9. So these 3 cells must be a 2, 7, 8 triplet. So 7 goes here and 8 goes here and 2 goes here. And with that, we have completed this gorgeous Sudoku by Akash Doulani. What a wonderful solve it had. It was really fun to solve this Sudoku, and I hope this was a nice change from the Sudokus that we usually do. And by the way, we have started our own Patreon page. So if you enjoy what we are doing on the channel, please consider supporting us. At the moment, we have not planned any rewards, but we may introduce them in the future. But if you want to keep the channel going and would like to help us financially, we would greatly appreciate that. So please check out our Patreon page. We have added the same in the description of the video. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.